The agenda for today is to just go through our PowerPoint deck to show kind of the overall or overview of what the event merge feature is supposed to accomplish. Then we'll do a quick demo of how to do an event merge in the website. I'll go ahead and talk at the event merge at a high level. This is a feature that we've added so that if multiple events are created by different sponsors, kind of unaware, and ultimately the event becomes larger and the data needs to come into a single event. So maybe different organizations that are on the border of a state or maybe just within the same jurisdictional area, but they're unaware that they're also responding to the same event. They create their own events. You'll be able to merge those in to have one single event later. This can also be used if somebody were to accidentally record a bunch of data into the wrong event. It can be used to pull that data over into the correct event. To be able to initiate and approve an event merge, you do need to be an event manager, both from the source and the destination event. So again, this is about being able to combine data from multiple events into a destination event. So you can merge from maybe there's 2 or 3 separate events into one final event. That is possible with this. So how to start the event merge process. The event merge is completed from the event where you want the data to end up, so what we call the destination event. So you're going to be making the request from that event. So the owner there is the one that needs to initiate this process. So you access your destination event. However you would do that in the RadResponder interface, either from the dashboard or from the top menu. And then you would go to the details page for that event. And if you would scroll down to the bottom, you'll see merge associations and a button there to request an event merge. And once you click that button to request an event merge, the process has a bit of a wizard with multiple steps so that we can select all the information we need to be able to complete the event merge. So the first thing you need to do is search for the source event, so that the event that you're wanting to merge into your event. Once you find that event, if you don't see the event in there, that's likely either because it's been deleted or disabled or archived or in some way. There are a few cases in which event wouldn't be in there, but for the most part, every event will be in there, even if you don't have access to it. Again, you can see it and you're requesting to bring that data over. When you select the event, you'll just get a general summary of the data that's in that event for you to be able to basically make be able to see roughly what amount of data is going to be moved into your destination event. And you'll see that as a part of the request, you can add an additional comment that will be sent to the event managers of that event that you're requesting, so that they see, you'd want to explain why you're wanting to merge in their data into your event. I would assume in most cases you will have already spoken to those people and you guys have decided to do this. But if not, you can include that comment there. Step 2 is to decide if you want to do a complete merge or a partial merge. So we've created this feature with the ability to either, if you, again, multiple organizations have created events that you ultimately want to be one destination merged event with all the information there, then what you're wanting to do is a complete merge. You want to take all the data that's in those events that you don't want anymore and move it all into the destination event. And then those events will get archived so that they're no longer used. But you can also do a partial data merge. Again, this would be an example would be somebody put a whole bunch of data into the wrong event. So you just want to bring over some data. Or maybe you keep a routine monitoring event where you go in and do weekly or monthly routine monitoring. As part of that, all of a sudden you've recorded data that is higher than expected, and so you have to create an emergency response event to deal with that data. You probably want to bring over some of that routine monitoring data that was recorded into that emergency response event. That would be an example of being able to use the partial merge. So if you choose all data, that brings in every record for every data type collected by every org in the source event. And you can just a note, you can go back and forth in the wizard. So if you think you made the incorrect choice, you can go backwards. If you choose partial data, that lets you filter data that you want to merge from the source event. You can filter by start and end date. So you can choose a subset of a date range that you want the data to come from. You can choose just by data type. Maybe you only want to bring over the approved data, or you can choose to only bring over one organization or multiple organizations. I believe that's a multi-select for you to choose. Then step 3, because you're moving data from a different event into your event, it's possible that that other event has other event partners that you're going to want to be a part of your new event. So perhaps a couple different organizations were partnered on that source event, but you haven't added them to your current event. This is a step where it will allow you to choose to add those people in or add those partners into the event. And you can choose what their participation type is for the event. And then finally, there's a confirmation screen that shows all your selections and a preview of the data that's going to be moved over. It will make a note that this is going to be sending out messages to the event managers of the source event for them to approve. If you're the event manager of both of those, the messages will still be sent out, but that approval step won't be necessary. So again, if you're the event manager for both the source and destination events, the merge does not require additional approval. But if you're only an event manager for the destination event, then the event managers for the source event will be notified by email, and they'll have to approve for the merge to actually be completed. Up to that point, it'll just be awaiting approval. And then finally, there's a step at the bottom for you to complete the merge. Once you've completed the request process for the merge, you'll get a toast message up at the top corner that it's been created. And once it finally completes, you'll get a message across the top to let you know that the merge has completed. Depending on the quantity of data, the merge could take some time. So if you're only talking 10s or 20s or maybe even in the low hundreds of readings, that merge should happen pretty quick, less than a minute. But for, if there were an event that's been going on for a long time with tens of thousands of records, the merge could take longer. It's going to run in the background, moving the data over, and again, you'll get a notification when it finally completes. So what data does the event merge not include? The main thing at this point that we've gotten requests that it does not include are GIS files. So if you've uploaded different kinds of GIS, KML, or shape files into an event to be able to show on the map, those right now are not included in the merge. But most of the other items that people have requested us to add into the event merge have been added at this point, like alerting definitions, facilities, just lots of kind of all the different metadata associated with an event that you might set up is now included with the merge. All the collected data is included with the merge, so all surveys, samples, both on the RadResponder and ChemResponder side, so chemical readings and spectrum over there, all of that data is included. Can you do a multi-event merge? So can you merge events A and B into C in a single merge? That you cannot do, but you can do it as two separate merges. So you would need to do an event merge for A to B, and then also from B to C. So you can have multiple source events that feed into one destination. That won't be a problem, but each of those has to be done as a separate approval process. Okay, so let's now take a look at a demo of doing an event merge. I've set up a couple events ahead of the webinar. So I have one basic event here that has just a little bit of data, some surveys. I've got 4 surveys in here, and then I may have entered sample or observation in here as well. Yeah, an observation. And so we've got a little bit of data. I believe we've got a couple facilities on the event and some set templates that are on here as well. So if you use data sets and maybe you've created an ad hoc data set on your event, that will go over as well. So we'll show that. So this is the source event again that I've created, and I'm going to try and merge this source event into a new destination event. I have gone ahead and created that destination event. And here in this other tab, I've got that destination event open. You'll see that I don't have any surveys now and I don't have any observations, no data created on this event at all. But I do have, I probably have a facility by default. Nope, there's no facilities. I do have a default set template for my organization, but I don't have that ad hoc one that was created on the source event. So let's go through the process to request the event merge. So here in my destination event, I'm going to go to details. And this is the page that has all your event details, as well as some kind of event-specific metadata down here. And one of those is merge associations. So here, I've got a button to request event merge. You won't see this button unless you have the privilege to be able to do an event merge. That's the event manager role. So I'm going to click the request event merge. And here I'm taken to the wizard, as we showed on the slides. I'm going to search for my source event. And it was the 2020-0311 event merge source. And we'll see that we've got a couple dose readings and an observation, a little bit of responder tracking data and survey data associated with this event. And now I'm going to go ahead and click next. And again, here's where I can choose what type of merge I want to do, a complete merge or a partial merge. We're going to do a complete merge, but I will show partial merge UI for just a second here. Again, I could choose a date range to filter down the data from a source event. Maybe I only want data from 2 hours at the end of, again, from a specific time within my routine monitoring event, where I want that data to come over to my emergency event because we're responding to an emergency now. And you can choose to only include approved data or an organization's data if you want the specific organization's data. But let's go back to all data and choosing a complete merge. Again, one note on doing the complete merge is that will archive the source event. And by archive, what we do is we close the event and we make it so that you can't edit the data anymore, because the data does remain in the source event. So when we move the data into the destination event, we're making a copy of it. So you do retain that source event as an archived event in which the data has it looked when it was merged. But we do lock it down so that mostly to help people using RadResponder to not accidentally continue to use that source event. Now that the data has been moved into the destination event as part of a complete merge, we no longer want you editing data over there so that you don't make changes that are over there but not in the destination event. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and click next. And I don't have any partners on either of these events, so it only lists the single event that's on them, and that's the source sponsored organization. But again, if I did have multiple other partners on the source event, it would give me the option here to add them as partners as well. And we'll go ahead and click next. And this is just the confirmation step. So it notes here at the top that no additional approvals needed because I'm an event manager for both of the events. But the event managers will still be notified. So if there are other event managers on either source or destination event, they'll get a notification to let them know that this event merge happened. And we'll see down here the different data types and the data counts, the current data counts of data that will move over. And you'll see that there is information about the current level of assessment of that data. And then I'm going to go ahead and click complete merge and confirm. And here again, we just get a notification that it's been created and the process to transfer the data has started. So one note on the event merge, maybe an event for multiple different organizations are created to respond to the same real emergency. Here you'll notice we got the notification here along the top that it's already done. Again, there was a small amount of data in this, so it's fairly quick. Say you have multiple organizations responding to the same real world event, but they've created their own events. And then you create a new destination and move the data over. One potential problem is you've sent responders out into the field. and they're recording data on that source event. And that data, and maybe they've lost internet access at this point. So they're not getting any kind of notification that an event merge happened and that the source event should no longer be used. We do have a processor on the back end as data comes in from the mobile application, where we will check that that event, if the event associated with that data has been archived as a part of an event merge, then we'll also take that record and put it on the destination event, so that we ensure that data coming from mobile after the event merge has happened is still flowing into the destination event. We don't let you do that on the website. We basically just kind of lock that source event because you have to have internet access to use the website anyway. It's not possible for you to not know that that merge happened, because we'll let you know in the UI. But for mobile, that is possible. So we ensure that the data moves forward into the destination event. All right, so let's take a look real quick and make sure that we got that data. So again, we're still in the destination event here. And if I go into the surveys, we'll see those 4 surveys that were on the source event are also still here on the destination event now, including their status. We do move over attachments. So if you have photos attached to the readings, those will move over to the destination event as well. However, the moving over of those will not be instantaneous. So we move over the data, the metadata, very quickly, but by the copying of those binary photo files can take a little while. So we have a queue on the back end that's just processing those. So it could take a little while depending on the quantity of that data to move over, but it is moving over. And then if we take a look at dosimetry, we'll see that I also have the 2 dose readings copied over as well. And then the responder tracking data also moved over. And then again, we'll take a look down here at, we do move over teams. So if you have teams on the source event, those will move over. Our facilities moved over and our set templates moved over. So we have that ad hoc set template that we created over on that source event. We wanted that to be in the destination because people are still collecting that template, so that gets moved over as well. Right. Okay, let's see what else do we have to cover on the demo. I think that's really it to cover kind of just, it's a basic data copy showing here with the event merge. I didn't put too much in it because I wanted it to be relatively quick for the phone call. But you know, feel free to take a look at that process on your own and try it out if you'd like and give us feedback on it.